Hello everybody, and welcome to my first of many YouTube vlogs. I will be your hostess. Hello, my name is Tori, and I'm a 21-year-old transgender woman. Throughout this vlog, I will be discussing my life and then also doing some Q&A sessions, and just anything else that you guys, were wondering about. Just feel free to leave your questions down in the comments. So let's, somewhat begin. So this is part 1 of I don't even know how many. But, so I'm going to begin by stating where it all began. So I guess I'd have to say my earliest recollection that something wasn't right, that I wasn't this boy. I wasn't a boy or a man. I always felt like I was a girl. No, there was no question about it. But I didn't know that there was a word for it. And so it basically started when I was 5 years old, is probably the earliest recollection that I have. So I'd always go into preschool every day, put on a tiara and a tutu, and I just was as happy as could be. Like, there was no question that I wasn't happy. And another thing that I used to do when I was little was I would play with my sister's Barbies. And, that didn't really look that different either. And let's see, what else was there? There was also a little purse that I would always carry around with me. Granted, my dad always kind of liked to play a little trick on me and throw it on top of the roof. But, he's gotten better over the years. So, honestly, after, a little while in school, I was always picked on throughout school. I would always be teased for my voice. All the boys would say, well, how come your voice is so high? Or, are you gay? And I'd have to say, no, I'm not. I'm just, this is just my voice. Little did I know that I was transgender. I didn't know that there was a necessary word for who I was. And so, in about 3rd grade, my mom had moved me out with my dad. And I believe I had just turned 10 when this happened. And so it was it took some time to get used to out there. I wasn't very happy out there. It was very, very different for me. I was used to being with my mother, my grandmother, and my sisters. And so when this big change happened, it was just very, very tough for me. And then in about 5th grade, I think I was about 13 years old, I believe, when my stepmom's sister, who was living with us at the time, said, I think it's time for us to go down and tell your dad. Did I think it was the right time to tell him? No, I didn't want to tell him yet because of how petrified I was. But looking back, I guess I'm kind of happy that I told him what I did. But let's just say that night that I had come out to him, I didn't even make it on the couch downstairs before I started bawling my eyes out. Because I said, Dad, there's something that I have to tell you and my stepmom. And he couldn't even understand a single word that was coming out of my mouth because I was crying so hard. I was literally, nobody could understand what I was saying. Because I was so scared for the longest time what my dad would have said. Like, would he have disowned me? Like, all this stuff was running through my mind. And I guess he was very, very quiet for a while after telling him. I just said, Dad, I feel like I'm a woman trapped in a guy's body. My stepmom was fine with it. She didn't have any issue. My dad, on the other hand, I think it was the next day, he took me to go and get blood work done. Or at least he tried. The doctors told him they couldn't do blood work because I was going through puberty. Because he thought there was something wrong with my hormones and whatnot. So after we left the doctors, he started asking me, what if the doctor prescribes testosterone? And I said, Dad, if they prescribe testosterone, I'm going to throw it out. I said, you can't, it's not going to fix anything. This is who I am. And still to this day, I can still talk to my dad about who I am. I just have to kind of watch myself, if that makes any sense. Because he'll kind of get very quiet, and he's still working on, fully being there. He's there. He's fully there for me. He supports me. He loves me. It's just taking him a little bit longer, which I understand. I'd rather it take him longer than not have him at all. I mean, he is willing to defend me to his dying breath when it comes to this. There's nothing that he would not do for me. And I love him to death for that. I love him to death also because he's my father. So then, after that, I was there from half of 3rd grade until half of 6th grade. And then I moved back home with my mom and my grandmother and my sisters. Because I just was still having a really tough go of it out there. And it just was rough. And after I moved back, things started getting a little bit better. I still dealt with bullies at school, which was tough and it wasn't fun. But at least it was somewhere where I was able to just feel comfortable. It was something I was used to. I was used to being around my mother and my grandmother and my sisters. And so childhood was kind of rough, at least the start of it. As far as the rest of school and whatnot, well, stay tuned for the next video. That's where I'll kind of get into more of what school was like. But I just wanted to kind of do a first video to introduce myself, kind of give you a little bit of a background story on my life as I was when I was little. And just to, say thank you. Because I know how hard it is. I really know how hard it is. Because it's taken me 21 years to finally be able to start on hormones because my family kept telling me to wait. And now I'm going on 6 months on hormones, which is crazy to think about. And then on top of that, I'm so thankful that I have a supportive family. I know, and I couldn't even imagine what it's like to not have a supportive family or supportive friends. And then it still mind boggles me how any parent could turn their back on their child and throw them out just for being who they are. I mean, that's just... Who on earth would do that to their child? Your child is someone that you brought into this world, that you love unconditionally. But yet when they tell you who they truly are and then you disown them, how is that even okay? If I ever have kids one day, and they told me who they were, I would bend over backwards to make sure that my child had the best life possible. I could not imagine kicking my child out of my life. It would break my heart. It breaks my heart now to even think that there are LGBTQ kids that are being kicked out of their homes just for being who they are. Just because their parents think it's a disgrace and a crime against God. What on earth? People always say, oh, it's against the Bible. Tell me this. Then why in the Bible does it say, love thy neighbor? That to me means love everybody for who they are. But yet there are still kids, probably even younger than I am, being kicked out of their homes just for telling their parents who they are. It just upsets me to think that any child could be disowned just for being who they are. It absolutely mind boggles me. But, so, to get back more on a positive note, I would just also like to give a quick shout out to a few people. My wonderful sister, Bella, I love you so much, and I hope you're having fun with your internship. I'm sure that you probably are. To my not biological mother, but a very close friend of mine. Actually, there's a couple non-biological mothers that I'd like to give a shout out to. One being my best friend, Julie. Hi, I love you, and give the babies all my love. To Monica, I love you. I hope that you're doing well. I really hope we get to talk soon. And also to her son, Dean, hello. To someone that I just started talking to, Taylor, I'd like to say hello and welcome to the community. I am so proud of you. And I cannot wait to see how much progress you make throughout these next coming years. I understand you're in college right now, which is okay, but always know that I'm here for you. And this goes to anybody who subscribes to my YouTube channel. If you ever need to talk, please just let me know down in the comments. And I'd be more than happy to talk to you about, if you need just to vent or to not be judged for being who you are. Because I love everybody for who they are. Whether they're gay, straight, bi, pansexual, anything. I care too much about people to see them be hurt. So this will conclude video vlog number 1. And I shall see you guys in the coming videos. So please, like I said, hit subscribe, like this video. Let me know down in the comments what you would like to see in coming vlogs or any questions you might have. Like I said, I'll do a Q&A at some point on here. But yes, so I thank you for letting me share a little bit of my story. I know there's still much more story to tell, but those will come in later videos. But so this will end video vlog number 1. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome night. And remember, I love you.